The fire crackled high against the cavern walls, shadows dancing across the faces of the tribe who circled me. Their eyes were sharp as knives, their silence heavier than stone. I was an outsider, an untested stranger who had stumbled into their valley after weeks of wandering. My clothes were torn, my body lean from hunger, but I stood tall because bending meant death. The chieftain, a man with gray braids and scars that mapped his life, rose from his place by the fire. His voice was gravel, deep and final. "You've eaten our food. You've drunk from our wells. But you are no brother to us. Unless—" he let the word hang like an axe. "Unless you prove you are strong enough for our women. Weak men bring ruin. Strong men keep families alive." Murmurs rippled through the circle. I could feel the weight of their judgment pressing on me. I swallowed hard and met the chieftain's stare. "Then let me prove it." The first trial, the stones of endurance. At dawn, they led me to the cliffs above the valley. A line of men waited, each carrying a boulder nearly the size of his chest. The challenge was simple: hold the stone longer than the warrior beside you. The women stood on the ridge, watching, their expressions unreadable. The first boulder burned my muscles within minutes. The weight bit into my arms, crushed my breath, and screamed at my back. My opponent, broad as an ox, sneered through his teeth. "Outsider breaks quick." But I thought of the nights I had survived alone, clawing meals out of the earth, pushing my body past hunger and thirst. I gritted my teeth and locked my knees. My vision blurred, but I refused to let the stone slip. One by one, warriors' arms gave way. My stone hit the ground last. A cheer went up from the young boys who had climbed trees to watch. The women didn't smile, but I caught their glances, measuring, weighing. The second trial, the hunt. Strength without cunning was nothing, they said. My next trial was to hunt with their best trackers. They handed me a spear of flint and wood and gestured toward the dense forest. The hunt was brutal. We trailed a boar whose prints cut deep into the earth. Hours turned into a blur of sweat and silence. At dusk, the beast charged us from the undergrowth. It was larger than I imagined, its tusks gleaming like daggers. The trackers leapt aside, leaving me in its path. I had only a heartbeat to act. I lowered the spear, planted my feet, and let the boar's weight drive the weapon deep. The shaft snapped in my hands, but the beast fell at my feet, blood steaming against the earth. When we carried it back, the tribe feasted. The children tore meat from bones, the men laughed, and even the women's eyes softened. The chieftain only nodded, but it was enough. The final trial, the circle of fire. That night, beneath the stars, they built a ring of flame. Warriors entered 2 at a time, barehanded, to prove their spirit in combat. The circle was not about killing, it was about enduring, refusing to yield. My opponent was the largest man I had ever seen, shoulders like stone walls, fists scarred from years of fighting. He struck hard and fast. My body reeled under his blows, ribs screaming, vision dimming. Every instinct told me to fall, to surrender before he broke me. But I thought of the chieftain's words, "Weak men bring ruin." I thought of the women watching, of their need for men who would not falter when storms came. I planted my feet in the dirt and stood. When the giant swung again, I caught his arm, twisted, and drove him into the ground. The flames roared around us as the circle erupted in shouts. The giant did not rise. I stood, chest heaving, and lifted my fist toward the night. The acceptance. The chieftain stepped forward, raising both hands until the crowd fell silent. He looked at me for a long moment, then spoke so all could hear. "You came as a wanderer. Now you stand as one of us. You have proven strength not only of body but of spirit. Our women will not fear you. Our children will not go hungry with you among us." The tribe shouted their approval, their voices echoing through the valley. A young woman stepped from the circle then, her eyes fierce yet warm. She placed her hand against mine, a gesture I understood without words. For the first time in years I felt I had a place, not just to survive but to belong. The fire burned high, the drums thundered, and I knew the trials had not only saved me from exile, they had given me a new life-ending scene. The flames dimmed as the tribe settled into quiet celebration. Smoke curled up into the starlit sky, carrying the scent of roasted boar and sage. I sat by the fire, my body battered and bruised from the trials, yet my spirit burned brighter than ever. The young woman who had placed her hand in mine still sat beside me, her eyes never wavering. She leaned close, whispering so only I could hear. "You are no longer an outsider. You are ours now." I looked around the circle, men nodding in respect, children resting against their mothers, the chieftain watching with a rare softness in his gaze. For the first time since I could remember, I did not feel like a man drifting between worlds. I felt rooted, claimed, seen. The drums began again, steady as a heartbeat. The tribe rose to dance, voices rising into the night, and I let the sound wash over me. I had proven myself, not through cruelty, but through endurance, courage, and the will to stand unbroken. The firelight caught in the woman's hair as she smiled at me, and I understood. The trials had not only given me acceptance, they had given me a future. And as the valley echoed with song, I whispered to myself, almost in disbelief, "Belong."